Renee Krause, and I'm here with Vicki Kangas, and we have a special workshop for you on nursery. So all of you who have a nursery section in your church where you're taking care of babies up to 4, maybe, or 3, this is to help you with this nursery section. And we have this book here, Taking Care of the Nursery, written by Angie Kangas. So we're looking at these ideas from Angie. Thank you, Angie. And Vicki is going to be here helping present this workshop. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, Christy. And thank you, Angie, for writing this. She is so knowledgeable and trained in this department. Although I have training in teaching, it didn't cover that age group. So we're talking early preschool. And I want to first point out that people who work in the nursery are not providing a babysitting service.
Right.
They're often viewed as a place to put the children so their crying doesn't interrupt the preaching, and the parents can sit and listen in comfort. And that is not the purpose of the nursery. The nursery can teach children and lay a foundation that later teachers can build on, and it can introduce the idea that God loves me. And this is important to introduce at a very early age. And you can start as soon as the children can understand the language.
Very good.
So the first thing that I'm going to be teaching all about the responsibilities of the director for the nursery department in your church.
That's nice too. Just remember, it's the director, not necessarily a workshop exactly for the teachers, although they can get a lot of ideas from this workshop. But for you as a director, how can you make a good nursery department?
True. The first responsibility in the first section I'm going to cover is all about safety.
Very good. So we got some
Safety
things over
is very, very important. The first thing that we have to do is record each child's name and a number so that you can contact their parents. Should an accident occur or anything happen, you need to have name tags. Will you hand me a name tag? These are very simple ones that you can get so that you can put you may not be able to see it, but it has the child's name and a number. You can pick any number. You're going to put that on the front like a person. No. In the nursery, it goes on the back.
Oh!
Because you know the children will pick at it and they'll be peeling it off.
Yes.
And then it'll go in their mouth. So for the nursery worker, it goes on the student's back.
On the back.
Like I'm doing to Christy. And then I will have a number here it could be a phone number for mom who's in the service, so I can call her. Or it could be, you can make up a number. This is child number 1. And you give the same piece of paper, a little slip with the number to the parent. So when they come back to pick up the child, the 2 numbers match. And it's important that you are aware that in some situations, there are people who are not allowed to pick up the child. And there might be a divorce, and there might be a dad who wants to steal the child while mom's in church. So you have to be aware of who has that piece of paper, and it matches with the child so they can pick them up.
Now, I've also seen in churches where they're not sticky, disposable, but they're like laminated permanent cards.
Yes.
So, and they just use like safety pins to attach them. So that might be a little bit more economic because you do it once and you wouldn't have to throw it away every time.
That's true. That's totally true. Another issue in the safety department is that your room is equipped with tissues and wipes so that, you know, the little kids when they're teething and when they're older and they catch a cold, they're going to be sneezing and you're going to want to have this handy and ready with you all the time. And along with this, you're going to want to keep on hand a variety of sizes of diapers. The parents, when they drop the children off and head to church, sometimes leave a diaper bag for you that you can also put the name on, or they don't. But you don't want a pooey, smelly, messy child playing with the other children in the room, and you don't want to hand them back to the parent, because something like that stuck on skin for an hour can make the skin so sore. Perhaps the parents don't want to come back to your church because it's hurt their child to be put in your nursery. So you have to be prepared with disposable diapers in lots of different sizes. And I know many churches also have kind of a large size outfit that's a unisex on hand for a spillover that goes into the clothing, so that you can put the clothing in a bag and send it home, and you've got something there to dress the child in so they can enjoy their time in the nursery. These are really handy, not absolutely necessary. Soap, water, and bleach will do the same thing, but this is great because with disinfectant towelette, you can clean off tabletops, you can clean off chairs, you can clean off the toys that the children have put in their mouth and put their hands all over and gotten all dirty. This is the superintendent of the nursery, of the children's department, to do weekly. The children need to come into a clean nursery room every single time they come. And you also have to watch out for children with sicknesses.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want kids in your nursery that have colds and flus. When they're teething, it's going to look like they have a cold, but they don't. And so you can be sensitive about it, but you don't want every child in your nursery to go home sick because they spent an hour with one sick child. So you need to be alert to that and figure out how you're going to kindly tell the parent they can't drop that child off this week. And I know that's difficult. That's difficult, but the spread of sicknesses in the nursery can be just devastating. So you have to be very careful about that they're not with the other children. You also have to watch out for small toys, because they can stick them up their nose, they can swallow them. You can have disasters in your nursery, so you have to clear the room of anything dangerous.
Including if they bring their little toy.
Yes, you need a shelf. If they have a diaper bag with a name on it, you can put it there and put it out of reach, or you can just put it up high, because they will, if they're breakable, another child might break the toy or tear it apart and swallow a piece, and that can be devastating. Another danger in many nurseries are electric cords. I've got one here, and you use them for lights or sound equipment. You might have it on a tape player, but the cord that dangles down, a small child will crawl over to that and pull it, and they'll pull something down on their head. So you must be sure that nothing has dangly cords that they can pull on. They will. One other thing that's not mentioned in the book, but in my experiences, you need to be alert to children that are in a stage of biting, because you don't want the children to be crying and going home and telling mom and dad that they were bit in your nursery because nobody was watching close enough.
Right.
So be alert to Rebecca, who has a problem right now, and her parents are working on it at home, and they'll they'll take care of it eventually. But for a month or two, she's going to be in an urge to bite everybody. So that child needs to be watched very closely. and keep her occupied with
Very nice.
toys. And here's the last and most important is
Smells great.
Shell. You need to have some hand sanitizer. You're going to need to use it yourself all the time. And you're going to be alert to making sure that if you have the kids are eating, that they have some fun with a little drop of hand sanitizer that they can play with and smell and play with, so that your room is germ-free. And
So,
you are. After a diaper change especially.
Oh yeah. So before we finish this section on safety, I just want to also mention, if you're in a country where you can't afford to buy supplies, one thing you can do for instead of hand sanitizer would be maybe just to have the water and soap available.
Yes.
Because oftentimes the place to wash your hands would be too far from the classroom, so if you just bring a bucket with water, that would be something you could do. And also for the diaper, if you can't afford to buy diapers, you can ask that each parent who's bringing their child bring whatever it is they use, that they need to bring an extra one. And then you can just have some bags so that you can put the dirty one, if it's a cloth diaper, you can just put it in a bag and you send that dirty one home with the parents.
And you've
So,
got one on hand
That way
with
you're
the
not,
child's name.
yeah, and then you don't have to buy anything. Whatever they use, you ask them to bring an extra one to church. So that works, especially if you're having a special convention or something where you have long hours. You're going to want to have something extra, and you just can have the parents be responsible to bring something. So that would be a free way.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So is that the end of our safety section here?
It really is. I didn't mention that I went to, for the same expense when I bought my tissues,
Mm-hmm.
I bought tissues that are antiviral. So they're cold care, and so that I would be extra careful not to catch cold myself. Okay, yes,
All right.
that wraps up safety.
Very good. Thank you.